All right. Welcome, everybody. Now's the point where you put on your headphones to make me feel super uncomfortable and awkward because it's like talking to an empty room here. You try doing this, it's very, very strange motion. Well, today's the day. Yeah, game one of the next game. No, it has been, to say that we've been waiting for this day would be just, not doing it justice. Across all of Salesforce, from the Life Sciences Cloud product organization to your dedicated account teams, everybody's been eagerly anticipating this moment. For months, even for over a year, many of you have seen our vision, slides, me yapping, which I like to do quite a bit. Figmas, looking under the hood, but not seeing how the car drives. A lot of that vision now today becomes a reality. We're excited to move beyond concept and introduce you to the live, purpose-built, Agentforce Life Sciences Cloud mobile application. So just quick introduction. My name is Frank DeFesh, and I have the privilege to lead Life Sciences Cloud here at Salesforce. And joining me today, and if you want to come on up, Joe, is my partner through the last 18 months, Joe Ferraro, who leads product for Life Sciences Cloud. Now, Joe and I, for the last year and a half, we've shared the stage quite a lot. Like he's smiling.
Too many times.
He's smiling because every time we share the stage, he takes the entire spotlight. But today, Joe, this is a day of transition, where the spotlight, it's not about you.
Is it about you now?
No, it's not about me. But I know losing the spotlight, that can be tough. And Salesforce has counseling resources available. But how do you feel about this? Are you okay with this?
I'm a bit conflicted.
Yeah.
But it's going to feel a hell of a lot better to be demonstrating live software than to be talking about a vision. So
yeah,
I think I can speak on behalf of the entire product team to say that we are thrilled to get to this point, and this summer is going to be one hell of a ride for everybody, because I know we've got a lot of customers that are looking to get in conference rooms with us, and to your point, they want to be able to poke and prod this thing and take it on a joyride. So we're really, really excited.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's right, because today the star of the show is this little guy right here. This is actually Mark Benioff's iPad. I stole it. Please don't tell anybody. I'm going to set this down real quick because we're going to show it a little bit here in a second. But, while a mobile application on an iPad is nothing to be sensationalized, what we're going to show you today is something entirely different. We are bringing the entire deeply unified platform of Salesforce onto a mobile experience. Data Cloud for that unified data layer, bringing in all your relevant customer information from all your disparate systems. Life Sciences Cloud as the application layer, and then Agentforce as the agentic AI layer on top of that. Now, traditionally, these applications on an iPad have operated as a system of record. Go in and record your calls and pull up content and show it to an HCP, right? A system of record. And what's exciting is we're moving off of that. We're moving into really the next generation with the launch of Life Sciences Cloud for Customer Engagement coming live, generally available this September. Now, when we say moving from a system of record, what are we moving to? We are moving from a system of record to a system of action, to a system of insight. We are moving from a pharma CRM or a life sciences CRM on an iPad to an agentic customer engagement platform. Right? That's a big transition because it's about time that CRM works for the user and not the other way around. And you're going to see that hopefully in today's demo. But what is really exciting about this is that power of Life Sciences Cloud and Agentforce, and all of that being powered by Data Cloud. So Joe, we're going to show the iPad application, but why is Data Cloud such an important part of this?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody understands that without the data, the I in AI isn't really that powerful, right? So I think when we talk about Life Science Cloud, really from the beginning, for the last 12, 18 months, we've pretty much always talked about that triumvirate, right? Of Data Cloud and Agentforce and Life Sciences Cloud working together. And I always ask this question, my product team always asks this question to customers or internal teams: how many of your sales reps are logging into Snowflake? Not that many of them, right? But there's a lot of insights there, right? There's a lot of information about digital engagement and about publications and social media. And so what we're doing is we're trying to bring that to life in the engagement layer, which is really what Life Sciences Cloud is. It's the engagement layer for life sciences. And what we're so happy about is you're not going to have to bring all of that data onto the iPad, right?
I mean, we don't have to sync everything from Snowflake onto
No,
an iPad?
of course not.
No?
Of course not, Frank.
What?
No. Have you heard of the zero copy network, Frank? So
I've heard a few
I
things
see,
about it.
I'm looking out into the crowd and I see a lot of data partners and AI partners, and we're going to talk about them here in a second. But we're really, really happy about this open ecosystem that we're building and the opportunity to bring these insights to life using zero copy and then be able to bring those insights into our iPad experience in Life Sciences Cloud.
So what we're about to see, again, as a reminder, this becomes generally available this September. And it will include key capabilities like omni-channel content, obviously an offline sync mode, Tableau Next integration, Tableau Next right inside of the mobile application, remote engagement, and a lot of other capabilities. And I would want to just take a moment to recognize some of our early adopter customers, Pfizer, Takeda, Fresenius Kabi, because they've given us a lot of their input and they've given us a lot of feedback on what we're thinking, but it even goes beyond that. Over the last 2 years, Salesforce has done countless design partnerships where we're interviewing people in commercial IT, medical teams, reps, market access people, and getting an understanding of how the industry is hoping to engage moving forward. We're all living in a different world today than we were 3 years ago. Now we can leave our houses. We couldn't do that 3 years ago. But AI, I don't think I've ever seen something become so pervasive and so powerful in such a short amount of time. I mean, I remember the first time I heard Gen AI and ChatGPT was just over 2 years ago. A year ago, we didn't even have Agentforce. So as you can see, things are just accelerating, getting faster. So what you're going to see today is going to look really groundbreaking, but it's probably going to look really old 3 years from now. Like, I'm aware of that. And no good deed goes unpunished. Today we're going to show you, so the next thing is, okay, you've shown me, now I want to touch it.
It might even look old by Dreamforce, Frank.
It might look old by
Dreamforce. We've got some really interesting things cooking up for Dreamforce, but yeah.
But while we will focus this demonstration on really innovative concepts and ideas like a conversational experience and agents, need to remind ourselves that this is a full-blown deployment of all the core capabilities that are needed to operate life sciences and mobile to be successful. And what's exciting about all these features that you see here, right? These are table stakes. Nothing is new here. But what is new is the ability, the opportunity that with each one of these things, you can start to channel and harness data and AI to make that capability better, to make it rich of AI and assistive actions, right? We are entering this new world. This is why I keep saying from a system of record to a system of action and insight. So all of these things that you see, of course we're going to do sampling. Of course we're going to do data change requests. But think about it, a data change request, an agent can start to process those data change requests. Like, if you look at this slide, think about all the different, whether it's predictive, generative, or agentic AI, the capabilities that you can apply to these capabilities. And while the initial GA release this September has a very full, rich feature set, there are still capabilities that we know the industry needs, right? Different segments of the industry. This is not a pharma-specific customer engagement platform. That might be what all the hype is about, because pharma got their sort of nuclear bomb dropped on them a couple of years ago, and that's a challenge. Everybody's got to make a decision and go through a process all at the same time, and that's why the importance of our partner network. But this release is very exciting, but we're going to continue that on throughout, obviously, the next several releases. Key things like order management for pharmacy sales, events management for compliant engagement, contracting, budgeting, logistics for events. Now, we say October 2026, some of these things will come before that. So you'll be able to do rep managed events, but those big ones where you're determining fair market value. Another great opportunity for data and AI to help you determine better fair market value in real time with real insights. These capabilities are coming in subsequent releases, but September is when these projects can start. And we're hoping that you get inspired by what you see today, and hopefully you continue your path with Salesforce and move to Life Sciences Cloud. Deployments, we know, I'm looking across the room and I see some organizations that I've worked with in the past. Hi everyone, good to see you again. And I know some of these efforts take a while. And it's not simply a move from one application to another, or a move from one platform to another. This is really a business transformation because there are new ingredients in the toolbox. There are new challenges that the life sciences organizations are facing with increased number of launches. Whether it's AI, whether it's personalized medicine, the amount of launches is just climbing and climbing. So you can't linearly grow your teams the same way. So this concept of digital labor is coming at the right time for the life sciences industry, especially if we want to keep enjoying the margins that we have in the past. So it's kind of like Newton's third law. We needed something to offset the additional challenges that the industry was facing. So before we go to the demo, I want to actually take a moment to thank and recognize the Life Sciences Partner Network. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of change and a lot of opportunity, and the industry needs your support, right? This not only provides options, it provides global scale. When you have an entire industry that has to go through an evaluation and a migration or an implementation and change management, all of those things all at once, and not just these three companies in an industry do it this year and those do it this year, like everybody, all at the same time. The scale, the options are very important to be able to support the industry. So to those partners, I thank you for your past partnership and support, and I want to encourage to continue our partnership as we move from evaluations to execution. The fun has yet to start. But speaking of fun, why don't we have some? I'm going to do what I don't like to do. I'm going to shut up. And I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Joe to give you your first live demonstration of Life Sciences Cloud Mobile.
All right. So let's settle in here for the next 15, 20 minutes here, and I'm going to run through the first demo of Life Sciences Cloud Mobile. So this is the first app for life sciences that enables humans and agents to work together to make critical HCP interactions more compliant, more educational, and of course more productive using the power of our deeply unified platform. So we're really, really excited. So let's jump right in to show you what a day in the life looks like for humans in the field working together with their teams of AI agents. We obviously have to authenticate. We have to set our passcode. And then we have to sync. Who's seen the sync screen before? We're taking all of the territory for the user, bringing it down, analytics, data, content. And this sync is about 4 times faster than legacy CRM sync based on our benchmarks. So we're really, really excited about being inside Salesforce infrastructure. So when we land on the homepage, we notice right away this is an agentic AI experience for our users with Agentforce front and center with a number of predefined prompts here to facilitate collaboration with their AI agent. But our users can easily access the wealth of information from their agent by pulling, but this is not just a pull mode. This is also an agent or agents, a team of agents working in the background, monitoring visit plans, looking out for opportunities to streamline our users' calendars, alerting them of new content they should be aware of, new insights. So this is truly a team-based effort for this user. Of course, we have these pre-canned prompts. These are configurable, of course, by the user, but let's get a little information about what our day looks like. So I can see here my agent's giving me a rundown of my meetings for today and lets me know I already have visit recommendations lined up. And I can even engage the agent here for some interactive pre-call prep through a feature that we're calling stories, which I'm going to come back to here in a second as we orient ourselves to LSE Mobile's navigation. So as you can see, we've got this really clean, simple, modern navigation here at the top. Each of these tabs represents all the most important experiences in Life Sciences Cloud. So users can reorder these tabs by dragging the tabs around. And of course, we have a calendar view where all of that Outlook calendar is synchronized to the user's device. They can see their planned visits, create new visits. We can move visits around. We have our content library, which houses all of our interactive content from PDFs and videos all the way to rich HTML5 content, all available offline to our users. And of course, we have our traditional views as well, object views like visits and inquiries. And these are, if the user prefers to work in these list views, they absolutely can. They're synchronized down from Salesforce, completely offline, from standard Life Sciences Cloud objects to any custom objects you might be building for your field. So, and then finally in the navigation bar, this is one of my personal favorite features, which is something that we're calling our Smart Search feature. So if anybody's utilized search before, in iPad applications, you typically have like a recent items, right? But we're unifying that traditional search with more modern search from tools like a ChatGPT or a Claude so that we can see our recent items, and we can access those recent items very quickly from our offline database. So anybody that I've talked to recently, I can quickly pull up any of that content. But what's so exciting to me about this feature is we also have the ability to perform research for topics that require AI agent to discover, reason, consolidate insights from many different sources like publications, clinical trial data, social media data. So if I'm a user that's interested in, say, what influencers are saying about my therapy Immunexus on social media, I can use Agentforce to perform this research. And all these amazing insights are pulled from our unified data layer, which is a rich ecosystem of data from data providers like H1, Definitive, IQVIA, Komodo, all available on Data Cloud through our zero copy network. And Agentforce can synthesize that data in real time and bring this amazing set of insights in seconds. And then you see, of course, our agent switcher. We've got multiple agents that are working along with us. It's not just an agent. We have agents that can do training, agents that can capture or help us streamline the process of doing expenses. So really, really exciting baseline functionality that's available just even in the search capabilities that we're infusing with intelligence. All right, so let's head back to our homepage and run through a few key aspects for our users. So first off, we see our announcements. So this is just modeled off like an Apple News capability. So we've got immersive articles, home office, corporate communications, whatever you need to do to communicate with your field. We've got our map view with our upcoming visits. We can drill into those visits, get driving directions. We have our next best customer list with detailed insights and those calls to action. And what's really cool about this component is it's an example of a feature that we call LSE apps, which we'll talk about here in a few moments. And then we see our reports and our dashboards for the users. So these are standard reports and dashboards that are available offline in LSE Mobile, which is really, really amazing. And along the bottom of the screen, we have our floating actions. So we have our quick actions here for common actions like sending emails or logging expenses, and these are completely configurable by the customer. So you can even configure hooks into Agentforce for common context-specific prompts. You can open LSE apps. Really, the possibilities are endless here. And of course, our agent is available here just with the tap of the button to start a conversation. All right. And at the bottom left, we have another one of my personal favorite features. So remember when I said the Agentforce prompt told me earlier that it generated a story for me to help me prepare for the week? This is a really exciting feature that we're calling stories, which is heavily influenced by the consumer world. So we're so accustomed to consuming information through different mediums, whether it's video or podcast or interactive experience. This is a way for users to consume that information on the go using a podcast-like experience.
Good morning. Let's kick off this week with a quick recap. Last week was amazing. You completed 18 visits, captured 6 new medical inquiries, and delivered 14 samples. You hit 110% of your visit target, Great job driving strong activity across your territory. Here's an important update from your territory. Patient support enrollments are trending up. This week, we've seen a 27% increase in enrollments to your meeting with Dr. Allison Brown is on Monday at 9 a.m. She recently opened 2 emails about Immunex's switching protocols and clicked through the nurse admin training guide. She's actively comparing options. You may want to reinforce the simplicity of our injection workflow and ask if she needs support materials for her. Dr. Schmidt engaged with our Phase 4 trial email campaign and spent several minutes reviewing the outcomes page. We may want to highlight how the trial complements his current treatment protocols and offer a follow-up.
All right, so you can consume via audio or you can consume in interactive mode. So you can imagine you're on the go, you want to listen to an audio, or if in your office, you can interact similar to the way that you would interact with a feature like in Spotify or in Instagram with stories. So there's no code to write to generate these stories. Agentforce can use all of the things that it knows about the user's territory, everything that it knows about their activity to actually generate these stories. And these stories are directly integrated with Agentforce Conversational Assistant as well, which is really, really exciting. But not only that, we're also integrating stories into Tableau. So Tableau metrics can come directly into stories. We can deliver them information about patient support enrollments that are happening in their territory. We see a lot of possibility with this feature. We think this is going to be the primary way that users that actually interact with Life Sciences Cloud and mobile in the future as we start to get started with this feature. So, all right, so as a user, I've started out my day with a quick overview of my schedule provided by Agentforce. I've caught up with what's happening with key influencers. I've reviewed my weekly story, which gave me some bite-sized insights, but I want to go deeper than those standard reports and dashboards will give me. And so for that super analytical user, we're so excited to deliver Tableau Next deeply integrated into LSC Mobile. So here I see all my performance metrics powered by Tableau Next. I can see quick insights that Agentforce has generated regarding TRX and NRX in my territory. I can quickly see how my metrics are trending from my visit plan attainment to visit conversion. I can see my prescribing trends are heading in the right direction. TRX, NRX, especially NBRX are trending up over the prior period. NBRX is seeing the most growth while MBX is gaining at a slower pace. Now I'm tracking visit RX conversions, which shows how effectively my visits are translating into scripts, and brand RX share versus the competition, which tells me how much my total prescriptions written in my territory are for the brand versus the competition. So, but there's a key metric that I'm focused on today, and that's visit plan attainment. So with 6 weeks left in the quarter, I'm currently at 70-ish% of my plan, but there's still room to close that gap. So we're drilling into the metric. We can see the breakdown of the visits by product, by visit type, by HCP. So as a rep in the field, I want to figure out how to get that visit plan back on track. So all I need to do is pop open that Agentforce window and ask, how do I increase my visit plan attainment? What's so amazing about this feature is that Agentforce is aware of the metric I'm asking about, is providing me specific feedback on how I can close that visit plan gap, looking at my open time slots, looking at the best coverage gaps in my territory, and it's taking action to get my plan back on track by planning those visits. So I can say, yes, please plan those visits, and Agentforce has that context of my visit plan, knows where I am in the plan, and it's aware of my entire territory, and it gets me back on track. So I've used Tableau and Agentforce to help me get back on track, but now I've got to get to my day. So I've got a critical visit with Dr. Aaron Morita coming up, and I need to make sure that I'm actually prepared for this. I've done all my analytics. Let's make sure I'm prepared. So let's head over to the account list. This is where I've got my list of accounts. I can manage my lists, I can manage my filters, I can slice and dice these accounts, I can search them. If I swipe on a particular list item, I can see those quick actions. And as I drill into Dr. Morita's account record, you're gonna see a smart summary right off the bat in the detail page for the account. So our first tab is this Agentforce Smart Summary that's available completely offline, both the structured and unstructured data about Dr. Morita, affiliates, addresses, content, data from data providers like H1 and Komodo, publications, social media, all generated, synthesized by Agentforce, and then delivered completely offline, which is really, really incredible. And at the bottom right here, we can see some context-specific actions. So these are actions for things like sending an email or Agentforce prompts or logging a visit. And of course, these are extensible as well. So heading over to the Insights tab, you see this customer 360 view of Dr. Marita across social, digital, competitive mix, publications. This is another example of a feature that we call LSC apps, which gives customers the ability to build customer user interfaces, custom components, custom widgets, and embed them anywhere in LSC Mobile. And what's so exciting about this feature is that these apps can be built using Salesforce technologies that you know today. So they're powered by standard Lightning Web Components. So if you're already a Salesforce developer, then you're now an LSC Mobile developer as well, which is super exciting. And of course, it's all here in LSC Mobile, available completely offline. All that dense CRM data is here for users that want to go deep, prefer to work through tables and forms, from addresses and emails to social media data to consent. This is a full-fledged CRM application. Okay. All right, so let's get ready for this visit I'm about to have with Dr. Marita. So let me pull up the visit record first. And this is where I can see the visit recommendations that Agentforce has generated for me here in the top left. I can preview the content that I want to review with Dr. Marita. And this is also the screen where I can log samples, capture inquiries, and log my visit notes. But unfortunately, Dr. Marita decided to cancel on me at the last minute, so I need to send him an email. So I'll use this quick action over here in Dr. Marita's account record to send him an email. Of course, this email can be sent by my AI agent, but I want to walk through this for you just to look at approved email templates. We can select our attachments. We can, of course, preview the email that we're about to send. And then, of course, we're going to go ahead and send that email out once we confirm it's got the right information. All right. So it's unfortunate that my visit with Dr. Marita was canceled, but how can I make the best use of my time? So this is where I've got to call in my AI agent to really help me figure out how to optimize that slot in my calendar. So I'll pull up my Agentforce window and ask, who can I meet with instead of Dr. Marita? And I absolutely love this functionality. Agentforce has all of the context of my schedule, knows where I am based on my geolocation, finds 3 HCPs nearby that I could potentially meet with. But not only does Agentforce give me a list of HCPs to meet with, it's giving me precise distance away, walking directions, some quick pre-call notes, and ask me if I want driving directions. And I can reply with, yes, give me directions to Dr. Jones's office. And I can get walking directions to Dr. Jones's office, and Agentforce has gone ahead and created that visit record. This is amazing. All right, so I was able to pivot to that visit with Dr. Jones, which helped me recover that potentially wasted time on my calendar. Now I want to log my visit. And at this stage, I really have 2 options. I can navigate back to the visit record or enter the information manually. So I'm going to ask Agentforce to log the visit record for me. And so I simply describe my visit to Agentforce. So I can say, just finished with Dr. Jones. She's considering Immunexus for new RA patients and asked how fast they might see symptom improvement. I told her that other HCPs have seen patients respond quickly. She also asked if there's any data comparing Immunexus to competitors in patients with prior biologic failure. I said I'd follow up. I offered to check if we could prioritize sample delivery by Monday. She's eager to get started. So I'll wait for Agentforce to take my visit prompt. And Agentforce takes this unstructured input and converts it into a structured visit report. So not only does it convert my description into a visit record, it goes a step further. So because we're using a fine-tuned LLM for my company that's trained on my company's compliance guidelines and brand protocols, Agentforce identified some key aspects of my visit report that may not actually be compliant, and it's alerted me and made it changes to that draft visit report. It's also pulled out a medical inquiry and submitted it on my behalf. So this is such an exciting capability that we believe will not only save users time, but it's going to contribute to increased compliance in the field and hopefully better user experience in general. So, all right, so that's a wrap. I had to go quick because the timer is counting down here, but we're so incredibly excited about this functionality and this technology. Cannot wait to get it in the hands of users this fall. And Frank, back to you.
Yeah, well, hopefully you guys like that. A lot of work went into it. Now, obviously, this demo was done as a US-based pharma rep, right? But we know that there's more stakeholders out there
Yes.
than that. So what are some other archetypes or industry segments
Yeah.
that you're working on as well?
Yeah, obviously common feedback is, oh, that was very US-centric, or that was very commercial rep-centric. Well, you have to start somewhere, right? And so we've got MSL version of this demo, we have CAM version of this demo, we have Europe version of this demo, we have Japan version of this demo. So we will be proliferating different versions of this demo for our conversations in the field. And just know that we support all of these personas, and we're really, really excited.
And that also includes medtech. That also includes
Absolutely.
Diagnostics, right? It's all the different segments of the industry, and a lot of organizations I'm looking around, you have multiple segments, so we want to be able to provide you with that one CRM. Actually, I try to not use the word CRM anymore because I think we're moving away from it. I mean, I've been doing CRM for 28 years, which is super depressing. Because I know, and people see it as this task system. Go in there, record your calls. That's why Friday afternoons, a lot of calls get recorded, and we're moving past that. Now, today is New York World Tour, and that's the first of the World Tour season. So we're going to be showing this in Paris tomorrow. We're going to be showing this across the different World Tours. Reach out to your account executive. Go ahead and, I don't know what it's called to do the QR codes, but scan these QR codes, find out more information, reach out to your account executive. We'll bring this demo to you. And obviously, all the way building up into Dreamforce, which is this October, when this product will be generally available, and hopefully many of you are already getting your hands on it then. But I want to thank you, everybody, for taking the time on this last session of the day, of this long day. Hopefully the wait was worth it. We have far more to show you. We're very, very excited. I've been calling today and this week sort of Emancipation Day because I'm tired of Figma, I'm tired of slides, and want to get into real application and live demonstrations. So with that, I want to thank everybody. Please do give us your feedback, not just on the session, but on the application itself. Thank you all. Have a great day.